Honorable members, the House now resumes. Let me thank those honorable members who want to give up their time to wait for the adjournment debate. I now call on the member for Brikama South. Brikama South.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to seize this opportunity to thank the President for fulfilling his constitutional mandate by coming to the Assembly to address the Gambia through the Parliament. And I also want to salute the Vice President and the Cabinet Ministers here in present. I think, Honorable Speaker, it's always unfortunate to be among the last speakers, since most of the areas that we want to intervene have been adequately dealt with. But I also want to reserve some of my intervention, probably in the adjournment debate. But I want to lay specific emphasis on the agricultural subsector. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the statement in the agricultural subsector, to me, it doesn't deal with much of the challenges that the subsector is confronting with. But I want to look at few areas, like it used to be history where agriculture was the backbone of the economy of this country. But interestingly, that has been going down. It has been declining seriously. And the President, if you look at the statement, he laid emphasis on there was an increase that was registered in the area of the following cash crops, that is groundnut, maize, and so forth. And he went further to also highlight a significant increase in the area of eggs, milks, and all those stuffs. I think there is an increase which we welcome very well. But interestingly, we have to look at the other side of it. Yes, there is production going on. But do we have market? Market as a major challenge. That has not been highlighted here. There are production all over. But the issue of the market is a problem, especially the vegetables you talk about, the eggs and the milks. Most of these are perishable commodities. And if there is no market, storage, and value addiction, I think this is the dimension in which we should be thinking. Because I know this is a major challenge and it has not been highlighted. And that is why agricultural production is declining. And even if you look at it, he went further to mention over 6,000 hectares of rice production was done and 400 for vegetables. But let's look at 6,000 hectares of rice production. Does this have an impact on the importation of rice in this country? That is something we have to look at it. But I want to look at it compared to the number of hectares that are line fallows. We have 386,000 hectares of arable lands that are line fallows, which means production is going down seriously in this country. Are we looking in this dimension? Because there are production, storage is not available, farms are not linked to the market, and there is no market. These are problems. For example, I want to give a scenario. Like you go to Brikama by 4 a.m., the market is jam-packed. All over West Coast and beyond West Coast, all the goods are brought to Brikama. They bring it to Brikama. But interestingly, the middlemen will play a kind of delaying tactics from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if the farmers are tired, they eventually give their produce to the middlemen, and even recovering that money becomes a problem. And again, I want to believe the policy direction, since the President made it in his statement very clear that they're working on a PPP format. How do we bring in private sector into our agricultural subsector? This is very, very important. I don't think people should forgo agriculture because they are not performing. It should be everybody's business, from the president to the last person in this country, to revisit our policy and make sure that we have a strategic dimension in connection to agriculture. You have a lot of youths that are coming into the production center. Like I have a few boys within my area that are into the poultry production, and they are producing eggs. But unavailability of the market really frustrates them. And another issue I want to look at it, because there are few projects that we approve in the 5th legislative. One is small ruminant, rice value chain, and roots, the famous roots. Roots is in progress for almost 2 years now. And if you look at the advent of roots, it has been seriously confronted by the COVID. So the issue of disbursement was a problem. And roots is phasing out by 2026. We are only left with 4 good years, with a funding gap of 20 million. Honorable Speaker, I want the Honorable Minister for Agriculture to look at this dimension. How can you team up with the Ministry of Finance to make sure you engage IFAB for the disbursement? If not, this is going to be a different. And the other issue I want to emphasize, that is in connection to the issue of the signing of these projects. These projects are in a form of grants and loan. Sometimes it could be concessional in terms of loan. But you look at the designing. It's very unfortunate sometimes, the designing of these projects, which the taxpayers are coming to pay, 60 to 65% will be consumed in the operational cost. The target beneficiaries, how much are we getting? These are issues that we need to look at it. Since they are going to be government projects and the taxpayers are going to be responsible, let us make sure that we more seriously monitor the designing aspect of it. It's very important. From there, we can take up with the implementation. Honorable Speaker, I want to look at the issue of awarding of contracts to the project implementations. Sometimes the way these projects are awarded, you find it very difficult to understand what is even happening, especially with regards to farms like Pabi Fop. I want to mention this specifically. If you go to Sankule Kunda, around even Makati, the Nyantale and the other farms, from design, this specific company want to do this within 9 months, but it's almost 4 months. These people are without a farm. They are not producing. And how are they feeding? Almost 4 years now. So these are problems. You cannot give all the project to one single farm that cannot even deliver up to expectation. And we've been looking around some of these roots projects. Most of them, especially with regards to the district store and drying floors, with that of cold stores, is given to one farm. And currently, even if you go around, you will understand that some of them are at the nursery stage. So these are problems. That is why I want us to take a proper dimension in coming full with a strategic dimension in order to deal with agriculture. Because there are problems. The issue of marketing, the issue of storage and value addiction are very important. And I was made to understand that even the current seeds, the Maro farm is doing very well. And the ministry, your partnership with him is really working. But how much ready are we to engage other youths into the subsector and also link them to market? Instead of taking your goods from the farm to the market, where you will not even see any customer, if they can be linked to our hotels. I live in Brikama and I'm on the highway. You look at the produce that are coming, and it's high time for us to start thinking in this dimension, to put embargo on the importation of certain goods. Even whereas our neighboring country, we have this ECOWAS protocol of movement of person and services within the goods. But if you go to Senegal, their level of control is far more than us. For Gambia, we are very porous. So we have to look at these things. How do we safely, jealously safeguard our produce here and put an embargo on them? Then we grow. From there, Honorable Speaker, I want to look at the local government. I think this is an area that is also very, very important, and there are a lot. Thank God it has been mentioned, now we are ready to bring in the 2002 Local Government Act. But what I did not even see, and I'm expecting that one to be part of the report, that is the land policy. And the number one timing bomb in this country are land-related crises. So we need a policy. From regional boundaries, we have a problem. And up to the tail end, where we have a lot of problems, our borders are very porous. Interestingly, Honorable Speaker, this by way of informing you and the cabinet ministers here in present, I'm the only parliamentarian who represents 2 states in this parliament. Because there are communities in my constituency that are yet to be determined, whether they belong to the Gambia or they belong to Senegal. Notably among them is Daslame, Dimbaya, and Bajiran. These are serious areas. Most of our development are in an area that is claiming to be in Senegal. So these are issues that we have to look at it. That's why the issue of land policy is important for us to have a clear policy towards the land issues in the country. And the other issue is like you look at the Greater Banyan area, there is population density is growing seriously. Are we really banking land for future borehole drilling? These are problems. That is why every household within this area, you will have a borehole. You don't know the water that is even coming, whether it's even safe for you to drink. But we need a major borehole. Like you go to our end, Tamana end, we have about 17 boreholes. But the level of encroachment by the estate developers is just too much. So that's why we need a land policy, and if possible, cadastral map, to make sure that we have land banking for specific projects. Yeah. Probably residential, industrial, and that of agricultural.
Honorable Member.
These are very important. So this is the dimension in
Honorable Member, can I observe you? Please. All right, you've talked about communities in your area where development is centered, and those communities claim to be in the foreign nation. Could that be, on the majority, let me observe, please. Could that be captured in the land policy, or is that a boundary issue? I want to be clear with that. Is it a boundary issue, or that could be captured in our land policies? Please, thank you very much.
I want it to be captured also in the policy, because we have areas that we have districts that are very much connected. So these districts, there are a lot of conflict going on between district and other districts in terms of land dispute. So that is why those boundaries need to be clear, 1. 2, we need a policy in land usage too. So this is the dimension in which I am coming from. Finally, don't disturb. That's a joke. I just want to withdraw because my honorable minister is not around, because that statement is fun. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabigi.
Thank you very
Hello,
much.
Speaker. Can I observe something? Speaker, can I observe something?
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Speaker. Can I observe something?
I think Honorable Speaker just called Honorable Member to speak.
Honorable Member, just
if
a
he's
minute.
going to observe, I have to allow him to observe. You called and I was already on my legs, so I think my time has started. I will only allow observation.
Member, please. Honorable Member, who was talking?
Yes, Lower Fatou.
Huh?
Lower Fatou.
Lower Fatou.
Yes.
And what were you saying?
Yes, yes, thank you. I just want to remind this gathering, and I'm observing for the fact that the honorable member that is set to talk decided to march out of this chamber. He did not want to listen to the speech of the president. So I think it is not of just for him to speak on this.
Honorable,
please.
Speaker.
Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, can you take the floor?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I did not see anywhere in our standing order that says if you boycott the President's SONA, you shouldn't participate in the debate. Now, before I go further, I thank the Vice President and all the ministers that are present here. The only thing also, I'm not very impressed with the attendance of the ministers. I think if the National Assembly members get quorum, ministers should also try to get quorum when we call them, because if you look at Section 74 of the Constitution, it is very, very explicit with regards to the minister's commitment or responsibility to the National Assembly. And I want to remind the honorable ministers, Sections 74 and 75 are very close. Section 75, this National Assembly can sack any minister. So I will advise ministers to take the National Assembly matters very, very seriously. Now, we talk about the SONA. I'll first of all look at the constitutionality, the constitutionality of the SONA.
Point of order.
That is not point of order.
Point of order, please.
It is.
Honorable Member, when a point of order is raised, you take your seat and the person will, which member is saying point of order?
Yes.
Sabak Sanjal.
Honorable Speaker, I just want to raise a point of order 12 under quorum. Are we having quorum now for the honorable member to proceed? Because it says the presence of at least one-half of the members shall be necessary before the commencement of a sitting. So I don't know whether he has quorum. Yes.
Honorable Member, in fact, before you put it, you should have just ascertained yourself whether there is quorum or not. And two, when the session is in process, is a quota of members. For the session to start, it is half of the members. But while we are in progress, we can have less than half and we'll continue until we are about or less than a quarter of members present. Can the honorable member continue?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. They have started their destructive method, but I refuse it this time around. Now, if you look at Section 77 of the Constitution, that mandated the President to appear before this National Assembly a year, every year once. But if you look at our standing order, Section 24, is very, very clear. The President must appear in the last quarter. For me, if the Constitution is silent on the time for the President to appear, that is a lacuna in the Constitution. If our standing order is very clear, Section 24, that the last quarter of the year, the first quarter rather, I think the President should appear in the first quarter. Because the essence of coming to state of, to give for the State of Nation address is for us to track the development agendas of the government. If you appear in the last quarter, it means we cannot track it very, very well. So going forward, I will advise the National Assembly to always write to the Office of the President to appear in the first quarter. Because if the Constitution is silent and our standing orders are very clear, I think our standing orders should take precedence here. Now, I don't want to address all the ministries actually, because I cannot perform any soliloquy act on the stage, talk to myself when the ministers are not here. I'll only address the ministers who are here. Those ones that are not here, I'm not going to waste my energy to talk to somebody who's not sitting here. You are not here, your vice president is not here, it's like we are just talking to ourselves. I will start from the Yeah, but if the vice president is here, I don't want to overload the vice president too. I think the ministers should accompany the vice president. But we don't expect the vice president to take note of all these ministries.
Honorable member, you must be consistent.
I'm going to start with the Minister of
Honorable
Justice.
member, you must be consistent.
Wonderful.
You talked about ministers not being present. You went
That is
for
why
that.
I said.
Honorable, when I'm talking, please keep quiet. And you talked about the vice president not being present. And now your attention is called to the fact that the vice president is here with us. Acknowledge that.
I know the vice president is here because I mentioned his name in my preamble. What I'm trying to say, I will only address the ministers that are here. I'm not going to address the ministers that are not here. So I'm going to start from the legal sector. Honorable Minister, the TRRC report was given to the government, and government adopted a white paper out of the report. But it's like the implementation strategy of the white paper is very, very slow. Last time when one of your prosecutors appears during our session with the Human Rights Commission, it's like, if I understood her very well, she was trying to give us the interministerial approach with regards to the implementation of the TRRC report. And for me, my fear is, if you want to follow that trend, it might delay the whole process. I think the Ministry of Justice should lead. Like what he was trying to tell us that there was those who were affected by way of education, then education will be responsible, health ministry will be responsible. My fear is this interministerial approach might bring a problem. So I'll urge the Justice Ministry to take responsibility of this. Now, if you also look at the criminal prosecution aspect, because if you look at it, it's like criminal prosecution, reparation of victims, then you go to the institutional reforms. I think there are certain things that can be very, very, very easy to do. Like, for instance, it was in the government TRS recommendation that the president should not patronize any religious group. For me, this can be so easy by just writing a letter to Supreme Islamic Council, to the Christian Council, that the president is not going to patronize any religious group. But still, I don't think none of these religious bodies received that kind of letter. These are type of recommendation, these are type of implementation that is not Western. I think it's high time the Justice Ministry to write, for the president to write to this religious group to tell them that the TRC recommendation said the office of the president cannot patronize any religious group. These ones are so easy. Now, if you also look at because what I fear is for us to go back to dictatorship. I think the Justice Ministry should let judges do their job. I think the judge who ruled over the Global Homes affair at one point was frustrated, and he left this country just because I was told his salary was not paid. I think if the Ministry of Justice want to interfere into the rulings of judges, this can bring another dictatorship in the country. So now that the Honorable Minister is sitting down here, I think it's better we leave judges to do their job so that we are not going to slip into any dictatorship again. Now, going to agriculture. A previous speaker said agriculture is the backbone of this country, and I concur with them fully. We went on track, and it was very disturbing. The project implementation strategy of Ministry of Agriculture is not very, very right. I will advise the minister to the project coordination unit. What the directors complained to us was the project staff are not answerable to regional directors, and this is very wrong as far as project implementation is concerned. So I'll advise the ministry to put their house in order to make sure.
Point of order, Honourable Speaker. I'm rising on the point of order.
May I hear the point of order, please?
I'm rising on Clause 26.2. A member.
Clause?
Clause 26, subclause 2. A member shall speak standing and shall address his or her observation to the speaker. The member is addressing the ministers. I think it's not right. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful observation.
Yeah, when a point of order is made, you wait for a decision. Yeah, honorable member, I think you have yourself noted it. Address all your concerns to the speaker, please.
Thank you very much, honorable speaker. Still at agriculture. It's like when we look at your project, it's like one project is always very similar to the other project. That is why at one point we requested for the complete project completion report so that we will be able to know if these projects are similar or not. Because what I realize is one project will phase out without completing its aims and objective. Another project will kick in, which sometimes the implementation is very, very the same, or is very, very the same. So therefore, we will advise the Ministry of Agriculture to make sure that, because these projects are loans and grants, if they are similar, it's like we are just repeating. So we have to make sure the projects are not the same, so that their implementation studies can also go parallel. Now, with Honorable Speaker, the Youth Ministry, I think the previous speakers has already mentioned, we visited Chairman, and we were told that this particular institution is under the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Now, we will agree that agriculture is the backbone of this country, and this particular institution is specializing on agriculture. So I will advise the Minister for Youth to make sure this place is uplifted, because when we went there, it was very disturbing. Even their residents were not very good, their conference rooms, etc., etc. So the Minister of Youth and Sports should make sure that this particular institution is put in order. Now we go to the defense. We will also agree that security is very, very important. And what we did not see still is the security agreement between the Gambia and Senegal. If you go to Fonyi, Fonyi is part and parcel of this country. And it's like the presence of the Senegalese troop is quite disturbing. So we will probably want to see the security agreement between Senegal and Gambia so that this National Assembly will be informed on the way forward. Now, strategic planning and delivery ministry. This is the new ministry that's probably under probation, and I think the minister, I want to give the chance to the minister in few months to see how he will be performing. But as of now, I don't think I want to hold this minister accountable for anything. Now, the Ministry of Works, my own minister, I don't know whether he's here or not, because I have not seen him since in the morning. I don't know whether he's here or not. Now, this particular ministry, the problem there is project monitoring and implementation. And I think this is becoming a problem as far as the OIC projects are concerned. The implementation strategy is not very proper. And also giving contractor giving several contracts to one contractor. This is a problem as far as this ministry is concerned, and I think the Honorable Minister should make sure one contractor is entitled to only one contract, not several contracts. Especially Honorable Sane mentioned with regards to Pabifort. This man has a lot of contracts, and eventually he's not performing in most of the contracts. Now, going to the Vice President. I think the Vice President should tell the ministers to always stop interfering in the government projects award and contracts, because this always leads to corruption. I will advise the Honorable Vice President to tell cabinet ministers to all the time avoid interfering into government contract procurement process and eventually awards of contracts. the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, I did not hear anything like the OIC projects from the speech of the President, and I think the OIC projects are very important to be mentioned, especially water and electricity. This is something that I did not hear. I don't know what is the state of this project implementation. With regards to Ministry of Interior, we visited the prison last time, and it is very, very disturbing that prisoners are living under that inhuman condition. For me, I always advise myself that anybody can go there. We met former ministers, we met former directors there, so therefore, anybody can go there. The prison condition is very inhuman. It is not in good shape at all. One small room, you will have more than 20 people, especially at the remand wing. You will have more than 20 people, sleeping there day in, day out. So I'll urge the Ministry of Interior to make sure that this place is maintained to suit human habitation. Another thing will be the Prison Act. I think it is high time that the Prison Act to be brought before this National Assembly, because according to them, the act they are using is still a colonial act which did not favor some human rights conditions. So therefore, I will urge the Ministry of Interior to expedite that process to bring the Prison Act back to the National Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang East. It's not here. Kiang East is not around. I now invite the Honorable Member for Tumalna. Is out. I invite the Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi. Lower Nyomi, is he around?
Good evening, Honorable Speaker. Good evening, fellow National Assembly members. I will recognize the presence of the Vice President, the presence of the Honorable Ministers, the presence of the security services, the media, all the National Assembly staffs here. The National Assembly staffs, it seems they were forgotten since in the morning. I didn't hear anybody mentioning about them, and they are rendering a good service to this Assembly. Thank you very much for all the services you render. Honorable Speaker, I will start with to applaud the speech of our dynamic President, Honorable Adama Barrow. He came here and made a wonderful speech on this last Thursday. I will not dwell much on his speech, but only one point, the economy. When I say the economy, I say no matter what, the global economic crisis hits our this beloved nation. Our able Honorable Minister of Finance, together with his team, worked very hard in order to came up with a jilt in this economy. I will commend them for that and commend the entire cabinet for a job well done. Keep it up. Keep up this good momentum for moving this country forward. That's what we want. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, electricity, good road network, education, health, water supply, and agriculture, these were mentioned in the President's speech, which are one of the major needs of my constituency, but I will not deliberate on that. I will leave that to the adjournment debate. But still now, beside that, I want, Honorable Speaker, to extend this message to the Health Minister that my community, there is a health center at Fast Njaga Choi. This health center, they need an ambulance, and it's kind of urgent. It's one of the health centers that has the largest number of referral cases from that end to SL District Hospital. I would like the Honorable Minister of Health to please assist with that as soon as possible. 2, from SL Health Center to Banjul, sometimes they do get late referrals when the ferry is closed. Honorable Minister, I would like you to help with a sea ambulance that will able to evacuate patients from Bara to Banjul at odd hours. I don't want to lengthen my speech because people are tired. They've been sitting here for all day saying the same stuff, the same thing over and over. It didn't worth it. But I have an advice to my fellow National Assembly members. What I want from my fellow National Assembly members is for us to unite. Let's unite and consider this country first. Let's unite and consider this country first. Honorable Speakers, again to my fellow National Assembly members, I want us to reflect back our memories to the 26-letter alphabets. Out of these 26-letter alphabets, there are 3 letters that I would like to share with you. R, S, T. Each letter stands for something or means something. R for respect, S for security, and T for trust. I'm urging my fellow National Assembly members in order for us to respect one another, have security, built-in security to one another, trust one another. These 3 letters, if any of them is missing, that means we will not achieve our goal. And our goal is to move this country forward together with the current able government. Thanks to the 5th legislature, they left a good legacy. The question is, hope this 6th legislature will leave a good legacy? That's the million-dollar question we need to ask ourselves. On that note, Honorable Speaker, to start my deliberation, I will say God bless you all. God bless the Republic of the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, I will then ask to take my seat. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Nyumi. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I first of all want to acknowledge the presence of the Vice President with the other ministers here present, and also on behalf of Nyani and on my own behalf, to express our sincere thanks and appreciations to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, for fulfilling his constitutional mandate to come and address this August gathering. I have a lot of things to talk about, but I just want to send it into few areas due to time factor. And the first thing that I want to discuss here is factors contributing to mass failure in schools. Sometimes when we talk about our school system, we must factor in what are some of the factors that are responsible for this mass failure in schools. If you look at in the nation's address, basic and secondary education, point 8, similarly, girls' performance at the West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination improved slightly. The word slightly, we all need to tie up our belts as a nation to see how best can it be improved 100% come next time the SONA address. Factors here are numerous. There are many. But the greatest challenge that we have at the moment can be linked to the usage of mobile phone and the improper use of the internet. The internet could be very vital for the student if it is used properly. Sometimes, as I'm speaking to you here, less than 30 minutes ago, I read that there's another killing that took place in Sanjaba through the use of mobile phone. Where are we? It is definitely sad, and it is definitely hard. And what we need to know here is that in this, everything has to be responsible. Let us be ready to take up the challenge as a nation, work as one Gambia, one nation, in order to improve this country. Looking at the agricultural sector, I really have to thank the agricultural minister for seeing him distributing farm tools in Nyani for the first time. And I definitely appeal to you, if we can have more farm tools to be distributed in Nyani. Looking at transport, that's page 38. If you look at page 38, in the President's Nation Address, he said, furthermore, government has finalized the maintenance and reconstruction contracts using the road fund for the proper upkeep.
Honorable Member, refer us to the
page 38
and the paragraph.
Transport, works and infrastructure, page 38, 6.
6, okay.
6. Furthermore, government has finalized the maintenance and reconstruction contracts using the road fund for the proper upkeep of selected roads in the Greater Banjul area and the North Bank and Central River region. which I definitely want to commend the government. And I wish this is even to start tomorrow. Because when we look at road network, it has some implications in reaching the health sector. We have some of our areas in Nyani, some of our villages that are almost 10 to 15 kilometers away from the hospital. In most cases, especially in the middle of the night, someone in labor trying to reach the hospital now with that bad road condition, inability of vehicles or whatsoever, how will that particular individual reach the hospital? It's always challenging, especially in the rural Gambia. We also talk about health, coming up with the key achievements in health sector, especially in the aspect of the national insurance scheme. When you talk about this national insurance scheme, will definitely help us as we bordered in Senegal, and the fund of our drugs, it depends on the population that is available in that particular area. In most cases, we have intruders, we have people who will come from Senegal, and they'll be attested by some of our alcalos for them to go and get medication from our hospital, which find it very, very difficult. And the other challenge there and concern that I have regarding that health insurance, looking at the nature of certain areas in Nyani, network is a problem, talk less of internet connection. How will those areas be registered? And I would definitely want the minister, Honorable Speaker, I definitely want the minister to take note so as to see what plans will they put in place before reaching those particular areas. In the same health sector, page 18, looking at the distribution of the community ambulance, page 16 rather, page 16. Yeah. Now, you move to page 16, looking at the distribution of the community ambulance. He said, government's introduction of community ambulance service following the distribution of 18 new ambulances in areas without health facilities is widely applauded in the government.
Honorable member, always give us the page and the paragraph.
All right. Sorry, Honorable Speaker. Page 16, paragraph 5. Yeah, number 5. It said, government introduction of community ambulance services following the distribution of 18 new ambulances in areas without health facilities is widely applauded in this country, which I definitely want to commend the President for that. Honorable Speaker, looking at the population of Nyani, the total population of Nyani as of 2013 census is about 28,343 people. That's the population. And looking at the health facility that we have in Nyani, that is Kuntaur Major Health Center. As I'm speaking to you, we have only one medical doctor in Kuntaur, and there is no surgical doctor, and there is a lab, but doctor is not available there to do the necessary operations. There is one of these scenarios that happened in August. A woman from these particular areas was in labor and was to be taken to the hospital. She was on a donkey cart. Before reaching the hospital, she gave birth. After giving birth, she has cervical tear. But because of the nature of the hospital and the way she was bleeding, they decided to rush her to Bansang. When the ferry service at Janjambure was contacted, they said they have closed from work. Bansang was the same thing, they said they also have closed from work. They have to take the long route, go through Kunting, Bustown, and hire these local barracks to cross. In the middle of the river, the lady died. This is extremely sad. If we said we want to serve our country, definitely we need attitudinal change. The ferry service should be there to respond to emergencies every time, at any time they are needed. And this has been happening there. August was not the first time, and if no solution is put in place, it will not be the last time. Honorable Speaker, I definitely need support from the Minister of Health and from the Office of the Vice President in order to find solution to those problems. On that note, I thank you for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyani. I now invite the Honorable Member for Bikama North and Minority Leader. He's out. I now invite the Deputy Speaker, nominated member, Honorable Sidi Jai.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank
Honorable Speaker, can I observe, please? Honorable Speaker, my tag was up since in the morning. I have been waiting. Yeah, but I should be called again. I am back. No, but before the
Honorable Member.
Yes, I said my tag was up and my name was listed. You called me, I was out, and I returned, and up till now, I am not called.
No, Honorable Member, that's not a fair statement. I called you, you were not here. Yes, those who are here.
Yeah, but I am back again.
Pardon?
I am back in chambers again.
Then sit down. Sit down and wait. Honorable Deputy Speaker, can you take the floor, please?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank His Excellency, the Vice President, and ministers who are here present. I want to thank you sincerely. This is in fulfillment of the constitutional mandate for you to represent His Excellency, the President. You being here alone would have sufficed in accordance with the 1997 Constitution. But you decided to come with all members of cabinet who are in town. Those that are not here, they are not within the jurisdictions. So this is indeed democracy at work. And this shows that under the leadership of the President, that the country indeed is transforming, where the cabinet respect the National Assembly in accordance with the 1997 Constitution, and that you are here sitting with us up to early morning, and members of the National Assembly, of course, bipartisans, have issues, raised their concerns, where at times may not be palatable to His Excellency the Vice President and members of Cabinet. That we need to recognize. And that any member who is contributing, we must acknowledge the fact that this is a positive transformation. This could not have been possible without the commitment of His Excellency the President and his government to the total and true separation of powers. As members of Parliament, one of our main functions is oversight. We are not an executive arm of government. We are the legislative arm with our primary responsibility of legislation, oversight, and representations. And for them, as executive, recognizing that shows this government, as President indicated in his statement, is committed to the welfare of the people of the Gambia. Honorable Vice President and members of the Cabinet, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I would indeed summarize. I will not be like the Honorable Member for Central Badibu. Honorable Speaker, but we have to make some record straight. Honorable Speaker, the President has indicated in his statement, from infrastructure to health, agriculture, education, energy, youth and sports, civil service, the list goes on, that he outlined his government policies and programs on those sectors. The road infrastructure, which is very key in catapulting the development agenda of any nation. The President and his government intend, according to him, to continue work on road infrastructure in the country. For meaningful development, socio-economic development of any nation, you must have good roads, because that is linked to agriculture, it links to health, it links to education. When you have good roads, that is why he indicated his government policies, in addition to the road infrastructure, drainage, and sewage in Banjul. Every citizen of this country would agree that under President Adam Barrow's government, that Banjul as a capital city, its first lift, has been improved to standard by this current government. We have heard, it is unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, for a member of the National Assembly to indicate that the Banjul's roads projects, the sewage and the drainage systems, is primarily responsible for displacement of people and flood. That is erroneous. Honorable Speaker, if you meet anybody in the capital city of Banjul, whether 10-year-old, 7-year-old, or 100-year-old, will appreciate the gigantic strive President Adama Barrow and his government in the area of road infrastructure, sewage, and drainage. This seems colonial. It has been a problem of Banjul, from mosquitoes to littering, dirt, and to motorable places in the capital. Today, thanks to that project, every citizen of Banjul and non-citizen is proud to call Banjul the capital city of the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, of course, this year we agree that we've received a rainfall that, according to the Ministry of Water Resources, that we have not received for over 38 years. And same amount of rainfall, that is 270 as per the Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources, was received by India. And India, we also, the flood in India, indicating that for over 7 decades they have not received such a rainfall. So we agree that this government is committed to the welfare of every citizen in this country. And nobody, as representative of the people, and no responsible and responsive government would contract or would come up with a project only to be disadvantageous to her citizens. So therefore, we want to thank the President for that. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member for Same, Woolies, and Combo South, in their drive to appreciating the President in his closing remarks, that he wants this National Assembly as representative of the people to be bipartisan and to work towards the common good of these nations, and indicated that the President should come bipartisan but not partisans,